There's a lot of blood just being splashed about.
There's somebody with a blood hose.
So yeah, I wonder if one of the key grips was just a blood guy.
We get some more blood up here, chat.
Chat.
Hey, chat.
Chat.
What are you doing?
Where's the blood, chat?
Where's the blood, chat? There's
chat. Hi. Shit. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the What a Disaster podcast, where we watch and review a disaster movie as close to whenever we want as possible.
I mean, which has been about once a year lately, yeah.
Roughly?
Roughly.
I think this is our second one this year. That's not fair.
This is our second one this year.
I'm Gregory Allen. That's me in the Disney shirt, the Disney t-shirt. This is my house in the room that's being painted. So please forgive the disasterness that you see before you. This is Richard Sawasinski.
Sitting next to the corporate shill,
the other
Gregory Allen,
male
in his Disney shirt.
And we have our token female, Liz Bedore.
Hello.
I don't know why she's messing with her mic. I thought you had all set this all up for us so that everybody was perfect, Richard.
I thought she was happy.
Oh, Richard.
I thought she was happy. She's not happy with me anymore.
Entire relationship.
She's mad.
I thought she was happy.
I thought she was. She said she was.
Thought she was happy.
She didn't say anything. She didn't say she was happy. She just let me do what I wanted.
Today, we are going to TikTok about the 2010 film Daybreakers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Daybreakers.
Oh, yeah, Daybreakers.
Which actually is set in the year 2019. Is it set in 2019? It's set in 2029. Did the plague hit in 2019?
I don't know. I thought it said 2019. It said, 2019, the plague hit. I don't know what year the movie is.
It was 10 years after that, I think.
Oh.
Is when this takes place. So probably 2029 then. Let's assume that.
So we still have time for the vampire apocalypse.
Yeah, the vampire apocalypse is what happened. All of the vampires were so fucking ready to turn everybody else into vampires that they didn't consider the fact that they're going to run out of food. So this was directed by the Spierig brothers. That's Michael and Peter.
Yeah. They say that like I'm supposed to know who they are.
They were definitely trying to like pull a Wachowski brothers or whoever it was that did The Matrix. This one's starring Ethan Hawke, Willem Dafoe, Sam Neill, all excellent actors.
They had a movie money spent on it.
Yeah, they assume about $20 million. That's usually the estimated budget on this one.
It only made $15 million opening weekend.
That's dozens of dollars.
It's more than 6.
That is more than 6.
Yeah.
It made its money back, it looks like, for the most part.
30 million gross.
Yeah. Plus worldwide was another 51. So
good for it.
Exactly. Well, a lot of this movie was gross. So
a lot of this movie was gross.
You know,
wham, bam.
I'm torn on the disaster of this.
Right, it was on the disaster movie list.
Yeah, it's on the disaster movie list. And I guess really there was a disaster as a central part of it. Actually,
but it was mostly gore porn.
Exactly. It was not even gore porn. It was just like here's a bunch of blood porn.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even where it wanted to be graphic, it was just silly.
Yeah, here's some corn syrup dyed bread.
Exactly. It wasn't as great as it could have and should have been.
There should have been more severed heads. I was disappointed on how few severed heads there were in this movie.
There were only 7 to 10 severed heads.
Yeah. 7 to 10 severed heads.
It could have been more heads.
There should have been more severed heads, and there should have been more chunks when people exploded.
Oh my god! And I think
could have taken a lesson from Cloverfield.
Mm-hmm. Right. And, being a vampire, this movie taught me one thing about being a vampire. It fucks with your complexion. You get pointy teeth. And you get to live a little longer. But if somebody just pokes you in the heart, you explode.
Right.
So I don't know what the point is.
I do like the
yellow eyes are sick though, so fair trade.
Yeah, yellow eyes are pretty badass.
Yeah, well, fair enough. But they tried to science up a bunch of the explanations on this stuff, but they never once addressed why the fuck would a sharp stick make me explode in a ball of fire?
Right, and not even that well aimed. A lot of times in this movie, when they're
vaguely heart-ish area.
Yeah, when the humans are fighting back, they would shoot. They were shooting like crossbows into the dark, and a vampire would just explode.
Yeah,
it's like got a heart again, guys. This is way easier than I thought it was going to be.
Because I truly don't give a fuck. But isn't it supposed to be like silver or something that murders them?
Silver
sticks? He used wooden sticks at the end.
That's what I thought. So it must be werewolves that are silver.
Yeah, werewolves are silver.
But they were metal things. They were shooting at them. It's stupid.
I think they were polished sticks.
Polished wood?
Yeah, I think they were polished wood.
Yeah, vampires in this
wood, which is a different thing.
Yeah, vampires in this movie explode when hit in the heart. Must be their blood pressure.
Yes, I mean it's their heart's not beating, so their blood pressure must be through the roof.
Yeah, I'm very confused on why they explode.
Yeah, they just burst.
It's like not a small explosion. At one point, Ethan Hawke stabs one in the chest. It gets blown across the room from it.
Yeah,
it's intense.
It is pretty crazy.
Like the Boy Scout orgy.
Because they were camping.
Hold on, we should call Patrick. Do you have Patrick's phone number?
Let's call Patrick.
Let's see what he has
on speaker.
Yeah, I want to know how he feels about this movie
Let's
before we can
see.
take our break. Let's give him a quick ask.
Let's give Patrick Dunn a call. Do I have him in my phone? He does not know that this is happening.
Welcome to the live stream.
Right. These things could happen anywhere.
Yeah,
anytime.
We have to call Chris Slatt if Patrick's not available.
He's not answering.
He's not answering.
I'm usually if it's 4 rings, that's a safe assumption that they're not
Patrick.
going to answer.
Patrick.
But we do have to let it go to voicemail and leave him a voicemail.
Yeah,
that
we
he'll
do.
never check.
At the tone, please record your message.
I will.
When you finish recording, you may hang up
Okay.
or press 1 for more options.
Yep, everybody's used phones before. Hi, Patrick Dunn. This is Gregory with the What a Disaster podcast. We were just calling to see if you had any input that you wanted to share about Daybreakers. If you want to give us a call back, give us a call back. We're going to be streaming here for another 12 seconds or so.
At least 12 seconds.
12 seconds minimum.
Yeah, just call us back, man.
Yeah,
Just call us.
All right, love you. Bye. All right, so that was Patrick, and he's gone.
He's gone.
He's
That
dead
was
to us now. Should we call Chris now? See if
Yeah, see how Chris is feeling.
This is right up their alley.
We have to know,
over there
yeah.
At the
every horror movie on
every
Netflix.
Amon
Yeah.
cast. So
Chris.
hi, Christopher Slatt. This
Hi,
is
Christopher
Gregory
Slatt.
Allen with the What a Disaster
And Richard.
podcast. And Richard.
And Elizabeth.
And
Hello.
Elizabeth.
Hi.
We are streaming right now.
Hi,
We
we're
wanted to see
streaming.
what you thought about
Nobody's watching.
Daybreakers.
It could have been you watching.
You
but
could
it's
have
not.
been. You could have been
you.
live with your favorite disaster movie podcast hosts.
It could have been us.
I'm assuming you don't listen to any other disaster movie podcasts. Otherwise, they'd be your favorite. But,
Yeah.
All right. If you want
I have
to
6 favorites.
chat it up, give us a call. Bye.
Yeah. Great.
Well, there we go. There's 2 for. We're 0 for 2.
This is great. Makes for good radio.
Oh, you know what? You know what we could do?
What can we do?
Brian Laterno.
Oh, Brian Latarno.
Let's see what he's got going on.
Let's see what
Just
Brian
gonna
Latarno. We call everybody to Rolodex.
Mm-hmm.
We have 3 friends. We're calling all of them.
Through.
Hello?
Hi,
Hmm.
Brian. It's Greg. What's going on?
Greg, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. I just wanted to warn you that you're live on our Twitch feed right now. Yeah. Have you? I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you seen Daybreakers?
Daybreakers.
Yeah.
I don't think I have seen Daybreakers.
Ethan Hawke, Sam Neill, movie about vampires that take over the world.
Oh, if I have, I don't remember it. It's possible I've seen it.
Just hang up on him.
Okay.
Just hang up on
What
him.
his thoughts are
You
on
guys are
Twilight.
totally looking for someone to vote
Very
on something
similar.
for Daybreakers, aren't you?
No, no, we just-
He knows what it is.
We just wanted to get some friends involved here in
Yeah.
this process. That's
How
all.
do you feel about Twilight, Brian?
I mean, I read all the books. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, well, you should have lied about that.
I feel like maybe you should have.
It's the best news you've ever heard. I know you're a big fan of Twilight, aren't you, Greg?
So I'd like the main canon to an extent. I'm more of a connoisseur of the fan fiction.
All right.
I moderate a forum where we take submissions, and it is very well curated.
Mhm. I can attest to that. It is the best Harry Potter, Twilight crossover fan fiction site that I've ever.
Exactly.
We do our best to appease everyone, and everybody that has advice, we always take and immediately add it to our work.
You need to have the opinion of everybody to make good art.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The only way to find the right way and to find a singular direction is to have everyone's opinion as well.
Exactly.
Which is why we called you.
Well, I'm kind of bummed you haven't seen Daybreakers.
I'm kind of bummed you like Twilight so much.
It's Daybreakers was probably the finest movie that takes place in the year 2029 and also has vampires in it that I've ever seen.
Yeah, especially with Ethan Hawke.
So,
Yeah.
So it's a futuristic vampire.
Very
sure. Yeah,
Just
let's
like-
go with futuristic.
future.
Everybody drives Chrysler 300s, but get this: the hubcaps are just circles.
That's right. The
Yes.
hubcaps are just circles.
That's how you know it's the
That's
future.
how you know it's the future.
No lug nuts. That's how you know it's the future.
So how did Daybreakers do? Is it getting a strong review or what?
It's getting a review.
A strongly worded review.
Yeah,
We're talking about it. That's a review.
We were about to dump the break, so we decided to give you a call.
Yeah, we
did not call 2 other people before we called you.
You were our first choice, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Sounds like I was the third choice.
I mean, it depends on how you define third. I mean, you were the first
you would
third
say
person
that.
we called.
I don't know why you would say that. Why would you say that?
All right, we're gonna get back to the stream, but thank you for chatting with us.
No, it was a good time. Next time you need to bring up some obscure movie that I obviously haven't seen for good reason. Definitely give me a ring.
It made $50 million. It's not an obscure movie.
Exactly.
Come on, how much money have you made? Not $50 million.
Do you have $50 million in the bank,
Yeah.
Brian?
Leave you on this thought. Daybreakers is definitely my favorite movie. It's the greatest movie that's ever been written or put on film. And it's actually pretty accurate for what I'd expect to happen in the next 10 years. So I hope you guys are ready for a wild ride.
There we go. Well, thank you very much, Brian.
Heard it from Brian.
Brian, the expert on vampires. Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Liz is going to go pee.
And we're just going to hang out.
And I mean, she looks a little peckish, so she may go down and dine on the blood of my children. And we'll be back. So
not all their blood. You got to save some blood for later.
I imagine Liz might even come back.
I don't.
Maybe.
There are no promises.
That was a soft maybe, which is also Richard's nickname.
In the year 2019, most of the population has become vampires. And the remaining humans are farmed for blood.
We're talking about the extinction of the human race.
We need your help.
We're an endangered species. It's time we changed all that.
Who are you? We're the folks with the crossbows. This is a chance to change everything.
They could kill you.
I'm already dead. Humanity will vanish as soon as the blood does. What happens when there isn't a single drop left?
Can anyone hear me? They found us. They're everywhere.
I found a cure. I can change you back. What's the cure? Run.
Daybreakers. Rated R. In theaters January 8th.
We're back.
What?
So you're back for the podcast.
Oh my gosh. We're back.
We're back.
Hey. We did it.
I'm so glad to be back.
I'm so glad to be back
this is
too.
great.
We were gone.
We were gone for so long.
So long.
Hi, Liz. You're back too.
Wow.
Liz is back. Hey, Greg, Liz is back.
I see her front is here too.
Yeah. They both came.
Everybody's here.
Yep.
Good. The vampirism or becoming a vampire or whatever you want to call it is a plague on humanity that has begun to spread.
It's become the end thing, Greg.
It is the
thing. It is the cool thing to do.
Yeah.
All the cool kids are doing
it. Except for in the opening, like there's this girl who's like, I don't want to be a vampire. And she kills herself.
Sucks. And
It was like the beginning of Up, Pixar's Up, except Pixar's Up was a little more bloodthirsty.
Up was bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
It's a bloodthirsty film.
So yeah, we are given some exposition through various visual storytelling and news clips, of course, because every disaster movie has to do it through news clips.
But the world is like still the same, but it says things marketed towards people with not pointy teeth who drink blood. Stuff is marketed towards people with pointy teeth
who drink blood.
Yeah.
Right.
And have pale skin.
So vampires now are basically 95% of the population of the planet, it sounds like.
Yeah, it does sound like that.
Which seems a little excessive.
It seemed like they weren't planning.
It was definitely poor planning.
Yeah.
But I guess like the big thing is they don't drink the blood and they start to get crazy.
They turn into like Nosferatu.
Right, exactly.
They get all pointy-eared, turn to bat creatures. It's pretty heinous.
Yeah, it looks nasty. Does not look pleasant. But if they drink human blood, it keeps them human.
Yeah, it keeps them round ears.
Physically human, appearance-wise.
Yeah, and like there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of benefit to being a vampire in this movie other than the fact that normal diseases don't kill you and you live a long time.
Yeah, like I mean, they don't even know forever because it's only been 10 damn years.
Right. That means like the girl who killed herself at the beginning, she was like, I'm never going to grow old.
She doesn't even know.
It's been 10 years.
Right. Give it some time. Maybe it's just slower.
It is a slower transition.
You know?
Yeah. It just seemed like she was a little knee-jerky on that murder herself thing.
Like that suicide was definitely pretty useless, I feel like. She should have just hung out for a little while longer.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I saved the life of a bat at an estate sale I worked the other day, so now it owes me a favor.
It is a fun fact.
Good to know. That is a fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did he give you a card?
No, but I know where to find
like
him.
A thing you can put in your window so that he knows it. Like he comes
It's a
in,
signal.
if he sees it, he knows that you.
With a
need
light,
help.
a spotlight.
Okay.
I'm yawning right now.
You got like a bat signal?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I hope a crime fighter doesn't show up instead.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. Ethan Hawke plays Dr. Edward Dalton.
Yep. Dr.
He's
D.
both a vampire and a hematologist, which seems like quite the career choice. Like that has got to be
Opportunistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. When the world turned to vampires and you're a hematologist, you're like, problem solved.
Right.
He has a nice car at the beginning. He lives in a nice neighborhood. He's got a
nice.
He's got
apartment.
a Chrysler 300 from 2016, which is about 13 years old at that point.
It's supposed to be a nice car, Liz.
Liz, I think they make it pretty clear that car is pretty cool.
With the round hubcaps.
With the you can't see the lug nuts.
That's how you know it's
incredible.
cool. And it has all the outside viewing cameras.
It's got cameras everywhere. Night driving or day driving mode is
Yeah.
I think what they called it. Yeah, so he plays that hematologist. He works for a pharmaceutical firm.
Yeah, who milks humans.
They milk the humans.
Yeah, they sell the humans.
Well, he says milk, but he means drains them of blood. That is a substantially different thing than milking something.
Unsurprisingly, the blood farmers often appear sporting fedoras,
Yeah.
which are, again, uncomfortably common in the future.
There's a lot of
Yeah, I was really uncomfortable with that. It's probably the worst part of this movie. Yeah. Dr.
Anyway,
Dalton, man. Dr. Dalton works for this pharmaceutical company.
The pharmaceutical company, believe it or not, seems to be pretty powerful.
I don't believe it.
I don't
believe it.
I don't know how it could possibly be powerful considering it's literally creating the food source of everybody on Earth.
And he's got Boss Vampire, we're going to call him, played by Sam Neill.
Vamp Boss by Sam
Vampire
Neill.
Boss, played by Sam Neill. Yep. Vampire Boss they hired Dr. D to make a blood substitute, and Dr. D has not been doing a great job at this. He's making progress, but hasn't quite gotten there yet. And time's running out because they're running out of humans. There's only 5% left.
How, it's a blood substitute. How bad could you mess it up?
If one thing I know about being a vampire is not only do you trade in your complexion and ability to go outside, but also anything that hurts you just makes you explode.
Oh, that's right. You're very sensitive to exploding.
Yeah, he gave it to one guy and he just turned into like chunks.
Started to blister, and he was like, "Oh, this sucks."
He's like, "I'm fine,"
and he's like, "Oh, that hurt," and then
yeah,
he exploded.
Yeah, that was what human.
A lot of
trials.
wet, but not a lot of chunks when they explode. So later on, when they explode from stakes, it's fiery.
Yeah,
but there is very, very little in the way of moisture or chunkster. But this particular one was very wet.
Chunkster, yeah, chunkster,
yeah.
It was very.
Is that not a word?
Very
Chunkster,
moist.
yeah.
Chunkster.
Very slick with moisture.
Yeah, very slick explosion. There was a lot of blood.
Yeah, all this movie was just being gross for the sake of being gross.
More or less. It was
a gory film.
Very gory, and I feel like it was mostly put together in the hopes that they could be like, this would be cool if this happened, and they just did it. And I'm assuming there was some sort of rhyme or reason to why they chose to mute the colors except for red when they were focused on vampire scenes.
Yeah, everything was very fluorescent light. So Noah's brothers in the military, they hunt humans so they could turn them into blood cows. Now we're all caught up. We're all caught up what we need to know.
It seems really inefficient.
The whole thing, it's like, wouldn't you want to keep a human colony and then take their babies from them or take their old people?
Right. You'd think for all the lessons we've learned about sustainable farming or even just maintaining a population through livestock and farming, those would have applied to the vampire principles of how they manage humans.
They seem to just drain them and waste them or turn them. They turn everybody who wants to be turned.
Everybody's like, oh, you should be a vampire too.
It's cool. This is the
Be
best.
a vampire. Drink blood, man. Nothing bad about this at all.
It's not great.
No,
it's not great.
It's not great.
Yeah, so Dr. D, we find out that Dr. D likes humans.
Dr. D loves humans.
He hasn't drank human blood in a while.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually starting to turn a little pointy.
Pig blood. Yeah, he's getting a little pointy eared.
Yeah, which it's a good thing he got in that car accident. That's when things go, I would say, better for Dr. D. Bad for just about everybody else, but good for Dr. D.
Yeah, I mean, he gets shot in the arm. That's a good start to any night.
So he gets in a car accident. He meets a bunch of humans.
Yeah.
He protects them, and because the cops are coming.
Yeah, cops were coming, and he very much is like, hey, you should go. Like, I'll get in my car and hide.
Yeah.
And then when the police show up, I'll, misdirect them.
And she gets his ID.
Yeah, she figures out who he is.
One of the humans.
Realizes he's a hematologist. And that's a big deal.
Yeah. They're like, finally, we got somebody who might be able to help us.
Right.
Basically, she goes to Dr. D's house later on in the movie after Dr. D gets attacked and all this bullshit.
There is so much about this that just like
how does it's so random.
it's just too much luck. Too much dumb luck. Oh shit, the one kind of person that we've been looking for, helpful vampires.
Not only did we find a
also
vampire
doctors, and we found a vampire that's nice and is also a blood doctor.
Right.
Perfect.
I assumed that would put them off and make them turn on him because he, like, vampire working in blood?
Right.
Yeah.
You should not trust that person.
Right. That is the last person you want to deal with.
They find one co-conspirating vampire blood doctor.
Yep.
That exists in the whole world. And he happens to be one of the smartest.
And it's not like there's thousands of humans all doing this same look, right? It's just this last ditch effort of like 6 people.
Yeah, it was actually pretty crappy resistance.
Yeah. It's going to be kind of crappy resistance.
They get wiped out immediately in this movie. They don't even have a fucking moment of like triumph. They just get fucking destroyed.
Yeah, it's pretty grim. So
that's it. Like
the lady shows up as an apartment and is like, "Hey, you should help us. Here's a note. Meet me here at fucking noon because it's
meet me at this tree dappled in sunlight."
Yeah,
at noon.
At noon. High noon.
High noon.
Sun will be at peak burnitude.
Listen,
we'll get there.
There's not a whole lot of important things in this movie, but there's something pretty funny because
there are not.
Willem Dafoe is in this movie.
Willem Dafoe is in this movie, and he plays
Elvis.
He plays Elvis.
So Willem Dafoe's accent in this movie.
It just seemed like Willem Dafoe being Willem Dafoe.
It was bad.
It was really
inconsistent.
Bad.
It was really inconsistent.
But everybody was terrible in this. Like, you see all these names and you're like, oh, this might not be so bad. And then they start acting and it's not good.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon was really bad.
Kevin Bacon was awful.
I mean, Ethan Hawke.
I was like you once, but not no more. Lionel Cormack. My friends call me Elvis. I ain't gonna bite. Elvis. Yeah, you know, like, Lord Almighty, feel my temperature rising, higher, higher, it's burning through to my soul.
I think the cannon could have been pretty cool.
The cannon was probably really cool.
It at all.
Yeah, like if you like vampires, I'm going to preface with that.
Love them.
If you like vampires,
love them.
And you want to see a movie about what would happen if vampires took over the world and were really bad at managing their only necessary resource, this is the movie for you. But it's also really bad. So maybe make a new one. Instead.
So they're only magical.
Hey, but so are most vampire movies. So I guess do whatever you want.
Willem Dafoe has a cool car.
Yeah.
It's a Chrysler 300. Oh, wait, no. That's the other one.
Is a classic car. I can't remember which one, but he had several throughout the movie. Several classic cars in this movie.
The Trans Am.
Yeah. That Trans Am was sweet.
Yeah.
It's like a 79 Trans Am with the 6.6 liter. That's a 403 cubic inch engine in that bad
and
boy.
A dramatic ass quote.
And honeycomb
written
rims.
on the side.
It's it kind of looks like the Bandit from Smokey and the Bandit, but it's a different car technically, I think.
Plus vampires.
Smokey and the Bandit plus vampires.
So basically, this movie happens. This is what happens.
What happens?
Willem Dafoe.
Elvis.
We call him Elvis.
Willem to Elvis.
Figured out he got healed. He healed himself by catching himself on fire.
He caught on fire and because he was driving like an idiot and hadn't had blood in a while. And so he ran into something.
We all get a little bit hangry once in a while.
Flew through the windshield of his vehicle.
He was hangry.
And as he flew through the windshield of his vehicle, caught on fire from the sun's obnoxious UV rays that murder everything.
Yeah.
And
including
landed in the
eyes.
ocean. And the scene is hilarious because the car just smashes into something and then there's just a flaming body that shoots out of the car and I'm like, why is he on fire? Oh, it's a vampire.
Yeah. He's like a little fire missile.
Lands in the water and it's kind of neat looking, really, like a cool concept. But that's what cures Willem Dafoe's vampire blood.
Right. That and just being a badass.
Sunlight, but in doses. But here's the thing.
Sunlight.
Here's the thing. Sunburns are always worse when you're in the water because water reflects light. So that shouldn't work.
But it put out the fire.
Which is good for him.
He was able to get the UV without catching
Where
on
does
fire.
it end? Chicken or egg? Like, was the fire the UV or not?
Clearly, the fire is caused by the UV, and the water prevents the fire from happening. So the UV cooked all the vampire
some
out
lazy
of them
ass
while he was in the
bullshit.
water.
You know what doesn't filter out UV entirely, at least?
Water.
The shade of a tree.
No,
Trees.
absolutely not. So direct sunlight seems to cook motherfuckers, but if you're in like the shade of a tree, you're good to go.
They say it's UV,
So why
but
don't
it's
they
not
just
UV.
tint the shit out of their windows instead of blacking everything out completely like assholes?
That's a good point, actually. It's even a better point
Because
than...
nothing makes sense in this universe.
That's
Nothing
not
was
true.
really fully executed
They
properly.
explode when sticks touch them, so that's big.
Not all of them. The one got a stick in his arm and he's fine.
And he was like, ow, my arm!
It's like Diablo characters.
Stupid.
They
That
just
was the only
explode.
part of the movie that I really liked, honestly, was when he got shot in the arm. I was like, no, don't shoot me again.
Yeah. He was like, also not a whole lot of motion. He gets shot in the arm by like the girl after that car accident. He was like, no, don't shoot me again.
It was the most honest acting. I think that maybe somebody actually shot him on set.
Somebody shot Ethan
And
Hawke right in the arm.
They were like, we're gonna shoot you again, okay? Ethan
He's like,
Hawke.
no,
And he was like,
no.
don't shoot me again.
Hold on. We need crossbow blanks. This is obviously sticking right out of my arm. It's not great.
This hurts. You really shot me with a real life crossbow.
That's arm meat. That's just meat.
It's in there. It's in there, and there's splinters probably. This is gonna be
This is bad. This is real bad.
Real bad.
I don't think I can do it. Guys, I'm bleeding out. Another scene. All right. Just take another take. Just shoot it quick.
So for the sake of audio, we are gonna do one more break, and then when we get back,
Come on, Liz.
Liz. When we get back, we're going to talk about how Dr. Dalton got hundreds, if not thousands of people killed in his selfish crusade to bring back humanity.
Yeah.
Humans will offer the chance to assimilate, but they refuse. Therefore, they are enemies of the state.
Human blood is our most precious resource, and our supplies are running out.
Our families are starving.
If you capture a human,
They found us. They're everywhere.
it is law to turn them in. Here at Bromley Marks Pharmaceuticals, we keep humans alive.
To farm them for blood.
We're back.
While we're back.
Fidgets with his phone.
I'm not fidgeting with my phone. I'm logging into the Switch stream.
He's fidgeting. Anyway,
they moved this where your profile face is on the Gmail
Richard
app. It shouldn't have done that. That's
bought
annoying.
a beer that
I
suits
did.
this. That we haven't done this in a minute, have we?
No, it's been a while. That's
Yeah.
why I did it.
I'm glad
happy.
you found this. It's the beer is called Enter Night and is in collaboration with the band Metallica.
Oh, I don't
Never
hate-
heard of it.
I don't hate Metallica. Like
It's
first
I
few records or
I like that song.
This is brewed and
That's the same.
canned by Arrogant Consortia, Escondido, California, and Richmond, Virginia.
Wait, is it not Stone?
Virginia. I
This is
don't
Stone.
know who makes this beer.
It's Stone Brewery.
Stone Brewery. Where does it say Stone?
It's arrogantconsortia.com.
Arrogant Consortia.
Because this is the Stone guy. Look up the Stone net. This is Stone. No. This is like one of those this is a novelty beer.
This is a novelty beer.
It has Stone's logo on it, but Stone didn't brew it in the brewery. It's a novelty
That
beer.
is just a fucking devil face, dude.
I promise you it's Stone.
I promise you, you're wrong.
Look it up online.
I can't look it up online. I got 4% battery
Y'all
in
are
my
fucking
phone.
fools.
Anyway, it's time to get started. To crank things up, to get loud. That
All
thumping
right.
you feel in your chest
That's enough.
isn't your
You can
imagination.
it's arrogant consortia.
It's your heart. It's life.
Oh, arrogant bastard.
It's the rockin' tunes. It's your inspiration, wanting to break out. It ain't gonna sit there waiting, so motherfucking grab it. This is a collaboration in the truest sense between two entities.
So
that
they
were
do
born on
have
the
a
fringes.
stupid ass website
We've
name.
navigated life from a different perspective. We imagined things different from what they were and set about using our art to change the world according to our vision. We started being misunderstood by many and loved by few. Today that's the same, but that few has become more. A
Wait,
lot more.
How's that the same?
That's you, my friend. And we're
It's not
stoked
the
you're with
same.
us on this
Metallica's
journey.
one of the biggest, most
The day
popular
is
bands
winding down
in the world.
It's time to get started.
Why are you so
No
reading
more
this?
waiting.
Stop.
It's time to get loud.
You're making me
It's
hate
time
this.
to enter night. Metallica and Stone Brewery collaborate on Enter Night Pilsner. This is actually not as bad as...
It's not terrible. It's really not great.
It's
Bad.
fine. I feel like if this got much warmer, it was going to be real bad.
It's fun to drink beer with friends. Cheers. Hey, you know what? Enter night, people. God damn! That is drinkable. And it's definitely past midnight, so it's officially nighttime, right? And we're drinking beers and living large and enjoying not just the company, but the beverages. Okay. And we
play by play here.
And we've taken a trip. We have taken a trip through the history of Stone.
So Vampire Boss finds his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
It's that he was talking about earlier.
Unfortunately for her.
He goes, I have a daughter. She didn't want to get changed. Blah, blah, blah. He found her.
I wouldn't want to change in front of my dad either. She was fucking 20-something.
Gross, yeah.
That's creepy, man.
Vampire Boss finds her, and she gets turned into a vampire.
Yeah.
After he finds her. And then she gets killed. And that's the end of her storyline.
Blood Boss was not willing to turn his daughter himself.
Blood Boss? Oh, even better.
And so he had Dr. D's brother, who is a soldier, go turn him for her, or turn her for him. Yeah. And then the soldier brother had to, because she refused to drink human blood.
Very complicated.
And drank her own blood and poisoned herself and became Nosferatu style. They call them, like, what do they call them? Subdwellers or something like that?
Yeah, it's like subdwellers, yeah. Subterranean dwellers. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. I'm going.
He's subdwellers.
That was fine. Subdwellers, fine. Nobody's watching this shit. This movie sucked.
I think they call them subdwellers.
Just fucking stop it.
All right.
Just fucking stop it.
No, you're right. I should. Subdwellers. What they call them.
Motherfucking dweller.
Yeah.
And he takes this lady and like they chain a whole bunch of these fuckers up to the back of a Humvee, which seems like a really inefficient way to torch a bunch of people.
But it was fun to do it nice and slow, yeah.
With sharp fucking sticks.
Aesthetic is everything, my man.
They didn't want to clean it up, so they did it outside.
Yeah.
They marched them.
And they chain them up to this thing, and they go at a snail's pace with them instead of just like fucking hauling ass out of there and dragging them out.
So slow. It takes like 2 hours.
And Soldier Brother is there and makes eye contact with this fucking subdweller, crazy-faced daughter as she...
Physical
explodes
contact.
into
She
death
grabs
fire.
his
Yeah,
arm.
she
likes him. He changed her.
She loves him, right? Yeah, that's what it is. It has nothing to do with hatred and fear, right? It's love.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
So anyways... She exists just to soak the last bit of humanity out of Blood Boss. That's it.
Blood Boss is done.
It's to make him irredeemable,
Brother,
right?
And Brother is using this as a type of redemption.
Yeah, he's becoming redemption. She's just there to like so other people can live their best lives.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to be the best of me.
So these wild man vampires are uncontrollable and are a blight on society, and they hate them because they're homeless,
right,
dirty, and angry.
Oh God, that's also what I look for in Pornhub.
Homeless, angry, and dirty.
Homeless, angry, my favorite channel.
Homeless, angry, dirty.
There's a reason he likes me. That's all I'm saying.
I wish I remembered what you said the first time. Oh, armpits, butt, sand.
Armpit, butts, and face. I don't know.
Armpit, butts, and mouth.
There you go. Armpit, butt, mouth, and homeless, dirty, angry.
Homeless, dirty, angry. Orgy.
Pornhub, if you're listening, can you make a channel like that for Richard, please?
Orgy.
For everyone, really. We'll all benefit.
The world will be a better place.
So I wrote it here. Vampire Boss kidnapped his daughter. She doesn't want to be a vampire. He's not excited about this. Turns into a vampire anyways and marches her into the sun.
Yeah.
Problem solved. Problem solved.
He's like, all right, well, she didn't like it. So I guess instead of returning the gift, I'll just burn her alive in the sun.
And we used to do this. We would go through every fucking scene. Let's just be clear. The vampires kill all the rebels. You don't even get to know them. They're just dead in the background.
Not all of them. You got Willem Dafoe, lady whose name is not in the credits.
Audrey.
And
Ethan Hawke.
And Ethan Hawke.
I got fucked up with Kevin Bacon earlier.
They're the only three. They're the only three that are left.
Yeah, that's it. Ethan Hawke new to the... Hey, Ethan Hawke.
Hang on now. We'll get there.
I guess we jumped around. I don't want to surprise... You guys want to be surprised? Everybody looks one.
They want to be surprised.
They want to be surprised.
They want to be surprised.
Get...
I'm sorry if you're listening to this.
Kidnapped and killed, or killed. I think they all get kidnapped, right? Because they want to eat them.
Yeah,
so
some of them got... Yeah, they just like...
They all get kidnapped, and at the same time, and then the rest of the rebels left over at the base take off to a new base. Ethan Hawke stays behind. Dr. D stays behind because he goes, there's these vats for like cooking wine.
So the vampire cure, they figured out.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
And it was controlling the burn from the sun.
Yeah.
And so they were using these winemaking vats that could be vacuum, like they could vacuum out the oxygen in the space
and the wine
to stop the fire.
It's
with
like
their mouths.
Yeah, it's like force management, but with vampire cells.
Yes.
In mouth.
So they cut a hole in this tank, which eliminates the vacuum, by the way.
I science, whatever.
And they put the flap on the inside, which would immediately be pulled open when the vacuum started. But that didn't happen for some reason.
Dr. D was also wearing a heart monitor. It didn't melt as he caught fire like 6 times. So
yeah,
whatever.
But anyway,
I'm fine with that. It's okay. That doesn't bother me.
They suck the oxygen out to put out the fire.
Yeah.
Because there's no oxygen in his body. So it's fine.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe has a mask because he's in there with it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They eventually get his heart to start.
It hurts.
They burn him over and over again until his heart starts.
3 times. 3rd time's the charm.
It's like trying to start the engine in the cold in the mid. All my Midwest people know.
Okay, you okay?
Ed?
Okay. He's fine.
In the future.
If you want this beer to taste just horrible,
let it get warm.
Hold it right in your hand while you drink it. Yeah.
Yeah, get it to about
Cradle it
body
between the
temperature.
thighs.
Yeah.
To keep from spilling on the couch.
Yep.
Exactly.
We did it. We did it, boys.
Or spill it on the couch and suck it out of the cushion with your face.
What?
It's a new thing.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that to be a thing.
Yours now.
Ooh.
That's my gift to you.
Thanks.
So Dr. D. I like your gift. Dr. D is now human. He got his tan back like immediately. The pigment in his skin is like radiant.
Yeah. He like as soon as he became human again, he was beautiful.
Yeah.
He was Ethan Hawke the actor, not Ethan Hawke the vampire.
And this is great because
the actor playing a vampire.
It's going to be really easy for him to work with the other vampires to get this cure out. Now that he's no longer a vampire.
Yep.
So he was really thinking this through.
Well, he knew he needed to test it, and they weren't going to get another vampire.
True.
And that is the only place where these sorts of conditions could be replicated.
I kind of agree, but now they're fucked. They didn't think about the next step at all.
No. He literally could have just gone back to work. They actually said, go get your brother. He can go back to work.
That's a good point. He could have just gone back to work.
He didn't do that. And he cures himself. He's no longer a vampire.
That's great.
Awesome.
No, you're right. They did. They gave him the option. They're like, we get it. Come back to work. He could have just done that. They give it and slipped the cure into the.
He could have cured somebody.
This movie could have been a little more clever.
Find,
is all we're saying.
So his brother shows up after the cure is done, and grabs Willem Dafoe. And so the woman gets snatched. Whatever her fucking name, Audrey gets snatched. And after they discover the dead bodies of the rest of the resistance, and while they're there, they go to his friend's apartment. Everybody went to his friend's apartment.
Yeah, so there's one other character in this movie. One other person who has a minor role.
He's in the beginning, and he's at the end.
And that's the guy. He's actually a genius.
His name's Christopher.
His name's Christopher. Christopher is easily as smart as Dr. D. You find out
easily.
He was able to actually invent the blood substitute.
Yeah,
but Dr. D's like, this is a buddy of mine. I'm going to go.
We call it the Bloodstitute.
The Bloodstitute, yes. That also sounds like a place you learn about blood.
It does. But we're talking about a blood substitute. Yeah. Although Dr. D could be a teacher at the Bloodstitute.
Sorry, we're explaining this movie so you don't have to watch it. So he goes, I'm going to go talk to my vampire friend about this. Yeah. So they show up at this guy's house.
Apartment.
It's a nice place. Well, it's a condo.
You know what? I'm just being an asshole. So,
well, you can just sit there.
You can just roll over my assholes and
they'll smell great.
Put it right up on Pornhub, and it'll go right into your armpits, assholes, and mouths channel.
So they show up this guy's house holding like weapons. So first off, not the best way to convince somebody to help you out.
No, I would be pretty put upon if somebody showed up and pointed the one thing that would make me explode. Oh no, I'm sorry. One of several things that would make me explode into a fucking ball of fire.
Right, because when you're a vampire, you basically just explode.
You're very sensitive as a vampire.
Just about anything.
But somehow they're the dominant species. Yes. Anyway, back to...
They're not at all concerned that while they're hanging out talking to this guy about the vampire cure they have, that he gets a call from his ex-wife and walks out of the room. Why are there 3 people there holding weapons? He's like, here, give me a second. I need to speak to my ex-wife. This is what I would do. I would stop a very important conversation with people with weapons to talk to an ex.
Yep.
They just sit there and go,
that's totally. What a really good excuse to get up and walk away from the group of people that are trying to kill you.
It wasn't until Dr. D walks over and picks the guy's cell phone out of his coat and goes, it says, just in bold letters, work. Office. He's like, he must be double crossing.
It was the other landline. But the first, Audrey gets up to check on their friend.
Oh, was it the other landline?
And they go, it was a landline phone. So it was another wireless head.
Also, why did vampires in 2019 have so many landlines? This movie was made in 2010.
And Chrysler 300s.
You know what? Yeah. The iPhone wasn't invented until 2007.
Let me finish this one beer made by Metallica.
Okay.
Brought to you by Metallica.
All right, Metallica. Thank you. If you're listening, Metallica. This beer is so good.
Tastes like Reloaded.
It tastes like Reloaded. It really.
Let's be clear for a second. Let's be clear.
Finally.
Let's be clear. This guy,
for 1 second.
This guy has no vampire friends. Dr. D has no vampire friends. He got betrayed. He got betrayed.
Who got betrayed?
Dr. D.
Dr. D got betrayed by his own brother?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
No.
Yes.
Not his brother.
Yes.
Yes, his brother too. But then not his brother later. His brother earlier.
Yeah, Chris,
but not
later.
now.
No, his brother later. His brother later and later.
But later on, his brother
Man,
also
he is way too trusting.
He's way too trusting.
Revisiting this man's life, he has no trust issues at all because he just trusts everybody.
For a vampire, he's really in there. He's really all in.
Willem Dafoe with a crossbow? Sure, man. Let's talk.
Everyone's a vampire, so.
Right, yeah. Hey, I just met you, human. We're hunting you, but you.
I just met you. You told me this story that sounds completely made up about falling into the ocean while you're on fire, and somehow that's the cure to vampirism. Sure, man.
I'm in. Science.
You're probably not on drugs.
I didn't go to med school to become a hematologist. I just learned it on the internet. Reading Wikipedia articles. I
Googled
University of Phoenix, baby.
That's right. Oh my God. So, yes, Christopher clearly betrayed them after somebody got shot in the chest with a fucking dart. And then soldiers came and
took Aubrey.
Yep, took Aubrey.
Because we needed that MacGuffin.
Yeah.
One more reason for Dr. D to go back to the pharmaceutical building, which is the only other building they bothered to render in this movie.
Yeah.
So they have to use it 6 more times.
They had the sets. I mean, you might as well. The human farm that they had, that they showed one time and never
it was super gross,
touched on again.
There were a lot of boobs.
Everything in this movie
I didn't know if I
gross.
was into the boobs or not into the boobs.
You were not into the boobs.
I was not into the boobs.
Oh,
they were gross.
Me either.
The weird,
me either.
De-blooded.
I totally wasn't into the
tubes
boobs.
of humans.
Yeah, dead girl boobs. No, of course not.
I mean, they weren't dead, were they? They were barely kept alive.
They were juicy.
Like, there's so much stuff that vampires don't need, and it's rather than like taking those resources and allocating them to the one thing they do need, they're just like, fuck it, let's just eat them all and then turn them into vampires.
I don't understand.
They're not really thinkers.
There wasn't a thinking vampire.
Maybe when you turn into a vampire, your brain sucks.
The vampire economy was not.
I see what you did there.
You did.
Yeah.
You got it. Have we talked about the blood shortage?
No.
They said literally a month.
Yeah.
This is something we should have said at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because there's like a month before vampires are going to wipe out because there's no human blood. So they're working on a substitute blood. And that's Dr. D's main job.
Yeah, we talked about the substitute blood. We didn't talk about the blood shortage.
Yeah, Blood Boss is like, we need blood.
Now the rationing starts.
And then, the rationing starts, and people are like waiting in Starbucks for their blood coffee.
And Donald Trump has a serious freak out because they won't give him an extra shot of blood.
I know.
Vampire Donald Trump?
Why couldn't he just buy another coffee?
Yeah, but there's a bunch of vampires rioting and stuff. It's a food shortage, and people are going crazy and they're starving and things are bad. But that's okay because, so they have a blood substitute now.
The Bloodstitute.
The Bloodstitute. They have Dr. D's, all his friends, except for Dr. D and Willem Dafoe himself.
Yeah.
And things are looking bleak for Dr. D and Elvis.
So Dr. D's brother,
right,
is there, shows up.
How he finds him,
and
we
he's
have no
having
idea.
like this moral dilemma about like, oh my God, maybe I don't want to be this crazed blood vampire guy anymore.
Seems like a bad deal. Now
it
that
seems
like
the short end of the stick, right?
There's no more blood for anybody to eat.
I mean, now that these bad things are happening, we should reconsider the actions this path we've gone down.
He's like, I have regrets.
I'm sorry. I wanted you to be a vampire so that you wouldn't die, he says. And then he eats his friend and starts having convulsing.
Yeah, because when Elvis gets bitten by the brother who's going through a blood craze, right?
Can we say this is the worst telegraph in movie history?
It was pretty bad. I said, like, the camera settles on William Dafoe's neck for, like, it must have been 20 seconds.
Oh, gee, I wonder what could possibly be happening after he ate the blood of the guy that used to be a vampire and is not one anymore.
Yeah, so what they did is,
Did he die from the blood from the guy that was a vampire but isn't anymore?
First off, you knew his brother was going to bite William Dafoe the entire scene.
Yeah.
He's eyeballing his neck like a steak.
Yeah, he's like,
It was basically a Looney Tunes cartoon where they're on the boat
boy.
and Bugs Bunny turns into like the steak.
Yep.
Yeah. And he jumps on him, eats him, and he's like convulsing on the floor. And it fades in the next scene. And it's just Dr. D walking into the main office. I wonder fucking why.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened.
What could possibly have gone
First off, good job, A+ hematologist. No wonder your friend discovered a blood substitute.
Right.
You didn't even try, like,
you didn't even try drinking blood.
You didn't even try taking the cured guy's blood and putting it up against, like, a vampire blood to see what happens. Mm-hmm. So anyways, Dr. D. Our man.
Dr. D.
Listen, let's just get this over with. Dr. D shows up at the fucking place.
Yep, they're there.
And he tricks the blood boss into biting him.
He does trick the blood boss into biting him.
Which we knew was going to happen.
Blood boss. First, he was trying to trick blood boss into like letting him work for him again, so that he could start curing the shit out of people.
That was actually pretty smart. Yeah. But Plan B was just to eat me.
Yeah. Plan B. Fuck it.
He was like, "How'd your daughter taste, Dick?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she taste like Dick? Is that what he said? I don't remember that.
No.
But then, the blood boss bites Dr. D. And turns back into a human, and everybody, like the military, for some reason, they're like, you know what? It's the military. Fuck them. Let them just fucking turn into bloodthirsty monsters. We don't need them to protect us.
He pulled a Die Hard. He ties Dr. D to a chair.
He wrote, "Now I have a machine gun."
Now I have a machine gun.
Right on his shirt, and sent him down the elevator. And the ravenous, blood-shortaged military was like, "I smell fresh human blood. Oh, take a bite." Dude, that scene was graphic.
Listen, not like that scene.
She closed her eyes.
I didn't even look at it.
Shreds. First thing, arm pops off. Wham!
Wham!
And then just blood everywhere, and then a head shoots out.
It was held out by Velcro already.
It was it was bad. It was
very satisfying.
Yeah.
A group of vampire soldiers wake up as humans.
Yeah.
They get eaten by another group of vampire soldiers who are vampires who didn't wake up as humans.
And then at the show, then Farty Pants and Dr. Bloodman, Dr. D. Yeah, Audrey and Dr. D come down the elevator, and there's like three not vampire anymore people standing there in a daze, like, oh fuck, what the fuck?
For some reason, Dr. D's brother shows up to try to help them, and he gets eaten by like
the army. That's what triggered that whole thing.
The whole army.
Yeah, the whole army just eats one guy that spreads to all the other guys, and they all turn back into humans.
All I can imagine is human society then turns into like one giant gang of King of the Mountain.
Yeah, because like 4 people are going to be left, so repopulate the earth, right?
Right.
It's time to get to fucking.
That's it. This movie's over. Later on, William Dafoe drives off in his car.
Was this before or after the security guards yank both of them into a room?
Oh yeah, this is
the brother gets eaten, and they get pulled into a room.
Yeah, it's like the Golden Corral, and and he's the dessert buffet table.
Like there's so many times where vampires just explode needlessly in this movie. I would like to say almost all the effects are atrocious. There's a lot of blood just being splashed about.
There's somebody with a blood hose.
So yeah, I wonder if one of the key grips was just a blood guy.
We get some more blood up here, Chet. Hey, Chet.
What
are you doing?
Where's the blood, Chet?
Where's the blood, Chet?
Chet.
Blood's getting a little low.
He just throws a bucket from whatever direction in which he's standing.
Oh yeah.
Chet, feeling like these vampires here. We're running out of blood, buddy.
That's all he does. Got shoulders just out of cantaloupes because he's just throwing.
He's got like super soakers full of it.
Oh, super soakers full of blood.
That's a good idea. That's a good way to get blood out there.
He's got a sewing machine that just, instead of thread, it just sews blood into the clothes.
Wait.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's wild.
That's crazy.
It's wild. It is crazy stuff.
It just turns into blood and oozes out. Yeah.
No, it actually holds the clothes together until it needs to explode, and then it just explodes blood. Yeah. We have one downstairs. I can show you.
I don't want to see it.
You just put your finger right in there, and blood's everywhere.
This is the worst.
We're gonna take another break, and then we're gonna come back with our review. Final thoughts.
It's been a while since I've done a Richter scale review.
I know. Richter scale, the Lister scale, the Richter scale.
This is good. Shit's good times.
The Eddie Vedder scale.
The Eddie Vedder scale.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You did good.
That was good. And lately, Liz has been slowly transforming into him.
She was bit by a radioactive Eddie Vedder, and she's.
I I had heard about him. Like he was spotted in southeast Detroit. Oh God, she got bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was bad.
It was at the taqueria.
He just bit her and ran away.
Now, so did he even try to eat the food first, or did he just go straight for you?
No, he fake bit a taco, but then he came over.
He fake bit a taco
Yeah.
and just came and took
He was
a
like,
chomp out of you. Deadly neighborhood radioactive Eddie Van.
Character, and how did you sort of approach getting in that mindset?
You know, I kind of imagined that he was like the equivalent. You know, you have to make it relevant now. I've kind of imagined that he worked for PETA, you know, but yet, or he wanted to work for PETA, but somehow had gotten hamstrung to working at a slaughterhouse, and what that type of person would feel like, you know, if the only way to make a living was to, I don't know if that's interesting to you or not.
Richard, what did you think about your show there, feller?
The movie?
Yeah.
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the lighting.
The lighting
in this film.
The lighting in this film. Okay. Good talk.
I like the idea of this film. I wish they would have gone more into. I wish they had a little more money and it could explore a little more what the world was like. Now that it was all taken over by vampires. Like, are there like vampire janitors, vampire pilots, and like, what's it all like? How many vampires are left? The population seemed pretty.
Is everyone attractive? What if you were the one ugly vampire? How would you feel?
How does that work?
So actually, there were a lot of ugly vampires. The subdwellers.
Yeah.
Okay, but before they become subdwellers, if you're just not a
You look the way you
person,
look. You look the way you look, right? You get
but
cool
all
eyes.
those were pretty ones.
But you get rid of all disease. So, like, if you had acne, your skin clears up. If you had psoriasis, gone.
You're
What if you just aren't a
fucking
pretty
weird
person?
face goiter, gone.
Can you get muscle? Like, if you turn to a vampire, like, and then later on, you're like, I just kind of a little chubby when I got bit by a vampire. Do I like? Can he work
Are you
out?
stuck being chubby, or does the chubby go away?
Yeah. And so you go like,
because there was the Donald Trump vampire was fat.
Yeah, he was chubby.
So
dude.
clearly, you can be chubby
Not
as a
starving.
vampire.
Dude, could he be chubby as a vampire because you were chubby when you got bitten and that's kind of stuck? Or after you're already turned, can you then get into better shape?
This is not the only movie with a fat vampire.
Yeah, and do you have to get into good shape before you get bitten? Is that like a thing you have to worry about? Or are you gonna be like,
you know what?
I want to convert, but you gotta
I would
understand
love to
this.
be a vampire, but not like this.
I want to be the best me. So you take years trying to get better shape, but you're like,
I'm stuck.
it's
with
still
me
fluctuating.
For the rest of my life, I might as well be
Yeah.
as pretty as I can get.
So then you're like 65 before you finally go, just do it.
Just
And
fine.
you
And then
don't-
you're too old, and
You don't look great. You don't feel great.
You missed
yeah.
your window.
So that being said, I guess a 5.6 on the Richter scale.
Wow, that is way better than I was expecting to hear from you.
Yeah.
All right, Liz, what did you what'd you like about this?
There are some cool shots, but I think they're pretty gimmicky and easy to do.
shots?
So I guess
We had to hang out with you.
So it was
I like the Mustang that was in it. Anyway, I like that car, but otherwise 2.5 stars.
2.5
Oh,
stars.
2.5
on the
stars.
Richter scale.
2 quarter stars.
Out of how many stars? Usually it's a 5-star rating.
It's like Star Search.
No, I was thinking 10.
10 stars. So 2.5 out of 10 stars. I've been thinking a lot about how I talk about the movies that we watch.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
And I've said many times,
You
the
have.
movie is visually interesting.
Yeah, you do
I
that.
wish
a
I
lot.
could say that about this movie.
That's the thing you do.
Yeah, I can't say that
You
about
don't like
it.
the
Very
Gallagher
interesting
blood?
if you like corn syrup.
I was angry about watching this movie. I was disappointed that I watched
Greg
this
felt
movie.
angry. That's an odd
I was
emotion for you.
I like every part of this movie that I watched is like, well, I can't watch this in front of my kids.
So
Anyway, did
Greg's
not
just
like.
stale,
Oh well,
so.
did like. What did I like? Let's not talk about what I didn't like.
We know
Let's
what
talk
you don't
about
like.
I
You're
did
so
like.
negative all the time.
I did like
Yeah.
the concept of this movie.
Me
Like,
too,
I really
right?
like the idea of
Yeah.
a world that is run by vampires, and they're having some sort of problem.
This whole idea of economics and stuff is still everything's still mundane. Yeah.
Right. I want it to be boring, but give me something interesting about that boring. But instead, it was like, we fucked up really hard, and now the whole planet's fucked because we're fucked and it's fucked.
Yeah, like I want to see the TV shows. I want to know like
I want to see Vampire Oprah. Well, where's Vampire Oprah in all this? Where's
be
Vampire Ellen? Could you imagine how good that show would be?
So
Like
adorable.
a much kinder Ellen. You get blood, and blood pours on the audience.
That's Oprah who does the blood.
I know.
That's
but
Oprah,
the blood
not
giving
Ellen.
is Ellen. I know the blood giving is Oprah now, but in a vampire world, blood
And it would be
giving
under
could
their
also be
seats.
Ellen.
Like instead of dancing.
She would do dancing in the blood.
Yeah, dancing in the blood. Just
And
dancing
then
on the-
like people jump out to. She scares people on Halloween.
I think you're.
What are you scared of as a vampire?
I think you're really.
Just the sun, right? So the
Right.
sun
I
comes
think
up.
you're
and they
really
think it's
mixing
the
up your
sun. It's
Ellens
just a
and
bright light.
I think you're stretching because like as of right now, like Ellen doesn't feed her guest.
Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't.
Ellen is the kindest woman on the planet.
What was your score for this fucking movie? Who cares
Anyway,
about
I gotta
Ellen?
say what I don't like. Everything else.
All right.
Everything else. The concept is great. Everything else was bad. The acting was bad. The pacing was bad. The driving factors behind it were bad. Everything else was bad. So the movie was bad. You know,
bad.
I lied. Best part about this movie is it was fucking short.
It was over. Yeah, it is a really short movie.
4. It gets 4.
Solid 4?
4.
It's pretty generous.
I mean,
y'all were pretty generous.
Actually giving it anything.
4 out of 5. No, 4 out of 4. I'm sorry, 4 out of 10. So thanks for listening to another episode of the What a Disaster podcast.
All our feet on Greg's.
We will be back next week. But in the meantime, you can check Liz out on her Etsy page, which is Motor City Reliquary.
Reliquary.
It's a word with an L and a Q. That's really.
It's the things you usually keep pieces of saints in.
Easier words.
But I sell pins.
Motor City Reliquary. Feel free to check out our show notes for information on the beer we just drank. Or for contact info.
Please.
You can check us out on www.whatadisasterpod.com.
World Wide Web.
We're on at Podwad on the Twitter.
True.
You can get us on Instagram at WadPod, which is the one we want for everywhere, but everybody fucking snatched it.
Some people take it because they want to have it.
Motor City Reliquary. It is spelled RELIQUARY. Reliquary.com. That's that's her. That's her
the
Etsy.
Motor City.
Motor City Reliquary.
You like
Motor City's Detroit.
Motor City's Detroit. If you
Motor
like
City's Detroit.
antiques,
There's a Motor Space City supposed.
If you like garbage, you can buy things from me.
enamel pens,
Loves stuff,
Liz
and she has
loves
so much
garbage.
fucking cool stuff.
like teeth and things.
Anyway, yeah. So Podwad on Twitter, Wadpod on Instagram, because we are nothing if not consistent.
We are everything.
What are we? What are we on?
Whatadisaster.com?
Wad Podcast at
Wadpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, wadpodcast@gmail.com.
Welcome to the story.
Yeah. And you can also call, leave us a voicemail, shoot us a text.
What is our number, Greg?
209-781-9113. Yeah, so we got all these options. Nobody uses any of them.
Reply.
Put
one Q.
Yeah. Motor
So cute. So
City
close, but
Reliquary.
RELIQUARY.
I just sent it.
Her.
Too late, man. Boom.